most accurate local forecast starts now with meteorologist Dan Tomaso.
Well, it was a wet and sort of muggy day.
Very muggy, and still that way. I mean, temperatures have kind of stayed the same from morning all the way till now in the 70s. But the showers have pretty much moved on at this point, other than some mist and drizzle in spots. Let's take a look at radar right now, and across the region, lots of clouds, that's for sure, when we look at the satellite picture just alone, but radar pretty quiet right now. The bulk of the moisture is going to be kind of swooped away by this area of low pressure over parts of Kentucky and ultimately into Virginia and West Virginia. For us, we will be on the far northern side of that, but we're still getting clipped by clouds through tomorrow morning. And with a weak easterly flow, even tomorrow morning, I think some of these clouds do get trapped across the valley. So it may take some time. Be patient tomorrow to get that sunshine back in full force. But let me tell you something. Maybe we don't want it to be back in full force tomorrow, because after tomorrow's forecast, we get a ton of sunshine. And all of a sudden, the warmth really skyrockets. And we'll talk about how high it could get later in the 7-day forecast. But again, things are relatively quiet and mainly dry. Again, we actually did get some peaks of sunshine during the afternoon. I feel like it tried really hard to clear at times. And then all of a sudden, the next wave of clouds and maybe some light showers move through. But here's Hummelstown, too. Again, looking mainly dry now after some periods of light rain. And speaking of the light rain, once again, very, very small totals for a good part of the mid-state. 0.04. That's it. Even though it felt like it rained for hours at a time, or at least when you looked out the window, it seemed that way, it simply did not add up. 75 degrees for the high today, low of 70. When those numbers are so close, again, the air is relatively saturated, and still readings near 70 degrees, if not low 70s in spots. Dew points also in the middle to upper 60s, so holding on to a lot of that moisture. And that's why tonight there's really no change in temperatures. Tomorrow, as long as we can scour out the clouds, we will be right back into the mid-80s for a good number of locations. Now, speaking of the clouds, here's PrecisionCast's take on the situation. Tomorrow morning, still mainly cloudy, and then during the day, it starts to erode away. And by the afternoon and evening, I think it's a very nice day. But that's just enough time to push us into the mid-80s. And then Monday, Tuesday, it's off to the races as temperatures really take off. And in terms of shower activity, it's going to be very limited. We could get some storms kind of rounding the bend of this big high pressure system by the middle of the week, but I do think it is very limited. Going to want to find a way to stay cool this week. We're talking about readings that could approach 100 degrees, just air temperature wise. Again, when you include the humidity, it feels even hotter. There's your 7-day forecast. Very hot leading up to the 4th of July and pretty dry as well. Mallory, over to you.